Welcome, everyone. If you don't know me yet, I am Kerry Thomas. I help people simplify and organize their lives, their homes, their offices so that life is easier and more enjoyable. And one of the things that I see a lot is that people think organizing starts in one direction, which is I've got to buy the bins, I've got to do the stuff, I've got to make the list. And so today's going to be a little bit different than what most people think of with organizing. And I have Sheila Williams here with me to help facilitate that. And we're going to do some fun things around setting your vision. So before we go on, Sheila, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? I met Sheila in 2022, signed up for a session that she did, and we have stayed connected ever since. So I'm really thrilled about this.
Thank you, Kerry. Yes, I'm very excited because I've always loved Kerry's energy, and it's been just such a pleasure to be connected just lightly here or there over the years. And I had a little brain idea the other couple of months ago, maybe, of just like, hey, Kerry, what could we do together that would be fun and be of service? And let's just get together and have some ideas and see how we could play. And I'm really thrilled that we brought this together and all of you accepted our invitation. So I am Sheila Williams. I am a midlife mindset coach, is what I'll often call myself. I'm a former teacher and corporate trainer, and I have been coaching full time for about 3.5 years. And I love to focus on people who are at the now what stage, I call it. You know, you've kind of made all those early decisions about what life should look like, and now you're here. But now what? And so I love to help people just have a different way to think about what they do want moving on in their, honestly, probably more than double their life is still to go with our age range these days. And so this isn't an endpoint, it really is a beginning. And yet we don't really always know where to focus. And in some ways, it is a lot of clutter in our minds and just not knowing where to start. And so I love that Kerry and I really do the same thing. We simply start somewhere different. But I think we cover a lot of the same grounds.
We do. We do. And so many of my clients, that's what leads them to me is part of their now what involves reclaiming more of their time and their space and creating what they want to create in their life. And so this is a perfect synergy. As I said, most people think the starting point is what do I need to do? What's the list? How do I organize these papers? How do I get rid of all these emails? How do I, organize this closet, whatever it is? What systems should I use? And the real question that we're going to get to tonight is what is it I'm trying to create? What is the life that I'm trying to create? The first step in my 4-step process is feel. And it involves creating your vision. How do you want to feel? And I'll come back and talk more about that at the end because I want you to actually experience what it means to have a vision, to create a vision. Is there just one vision? Are there parts to a vision? And so Sheila is going to teach us about that.
Well, that's such a great place for us to start because what I have found working with people and even just my own life is that we have a really good idea about what we don't want. We're really professional at knowing not that, not that, not that, not that, usually because of the experiences that we've called into our life, which is wonderful. There's so much value in that information. We know we want something different. And that's often where we stop. And so, what I love to do is encourage people to actually take some time and put some life into that goal. Someone who is training for the Olympics, they understand they're working on actual objective goals, maybe taking a time goal or a skill, a weight, a strength. They know what they're working towards that way, but they also spend time imagining whatever that finish line is for them. They imagine having the medal put around their neck and their own anthem playing. They connect with that future version of themselves. And that is a very accepted part of psychology, that the more we can flesh out what it is that we want and connect with the being of it, the actual feeling of it, the more we are able to close the gap between where we are right now and the actual having of that experience. And that goes with everything from feeling overwhelmed by an area of our home that needs to be organized, to making career change decisions, to relationship decisions. Like, it's really all the same. And that's where I think we are going to have some fun today, because I will invite everybody to imagine a goal that they would like to have. And because of where we are, I think it is fair to say something related to, maybe needing organization, or needing a system put into place, or you want it, but it just, you even know what to do, but you still haven't taken the steps to do it, right? I think that's a very common one.
Yeah, that's a very common one. Yes, I hear that all the time. I know what to do. Why
Yeah,
am I not doing it?
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So,
If you know already what your goal is, or the thing that you would like to accomplish, go ahead and write it in the chat.
yeah, it would
And
be
we,
fun to find out what people are thinking of. So what is it for them? It could be as simple as, that bookshelf that never gets done, the messy drawer in the kitchen that's, we literally call it the junk drawer. I'm working with a client who has a whole garage that's basically 20, 30 years of boxes, and she's over it. She's done. She wants to actually park her vehicle in the garage. And so, although that's not what I talk about, we are having wonderful success together, because so much of it is the mindset piece that we are going to talk about today. So, does anybody want to share anything of what they would love to have as their finished goal?
you can unmute if that's easier than putting it in the chat. Oops.
Absolutely. Denise popped in, set up my new former home where everything has a place and it feels peaceful. That's a big one. Moving, that's so many levels and layers involved with packing up, going from one place, unpacking, wanting it to be the feeling you want, though, not just literally taking everything from one house and putting it in the next. I think that's another easy trap that we fall in. I know when I got a new phone, I thought, oh, I better clean up my old phone. But then when I actually got the new phone, it's like, oh, I don't really have time for that. I'll just transfer everything over and clean it up later. No, it's been over a year. I have so much junk on that phone that I didn't bother to clear out the clutter. So I'm feeling that pain now.
That's a perfect one, Denise, because you said you're currently packing up. So
Yeah.
everything that you put into a box, imagine and think, does this fit into the life that I'm going to be creating in this new space? And you can go even deeper. That's a really good one. I hope you can touch on that, Sheila.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are good.
So is it Helena or Helena says, reduce the stuff that represents the roles I no longer represent or work at. Such a good one, because we accumulate, the things that fit us at one point. And then when we shift gears, again, it often feels either that we don't have the time, or it's too much work, or it might be hard to let go of those items that represent the old version of ourselves.
Yes. A couple of you were, you attended or you watched the replay that I did on aspirational clutter. And part of that was those, that was the title. And part of that was those roles, those parts of ourselves that just no longer fit.
Yeah, so good. So Amy popped in, useful, organized, peaceful, easy to clean space in house and garage. Yeah, it can feel so overwhelming to know where to start, but I love that you are using words about how it's going to feel when you're done. Like, just that peaceful, easy, organized.
Yeah. And Brenda, yours is very concrete, very specific. The storage shelves in the laundry room, paperwork, photos, and memory bins. Yeah, the photos and the memories. In my experience,
Mhm.
99% of people leave those for last. 'Cause it's not
Guilty.
only, yes, guilty as well. It's not only tedious in and of itself, but just the emotions tied to it.
Yeah.
It's the hardest part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Denise, I
photos
agree
and
that the
memories.
photos are overwhelming. I actually live nomadically and I have removed almost all of the bins from having the houses and downsizing all that. I've actually released almost everything other than a seasonal bin of clothing. But that bin with the photos, I have gotten rid of a lot, but there was still that core. And my daughter was on bed rest, and our next project was going to be let's actually go through all the photos. And then she ended up having the baby. So who knows when those are going to be done?
All right, those are some good ones.
Yes.
Do you
All right.
see
Well,
one
thank
that you want to pick out or choose or
Oh, I think we can focus on that idea of that Denise is packing up, and I know Amy would like to organize her house as well and garage, and Brenda has certain areas. So I think I will speak to that idea. So Brenda's talking about, she's working on the paperwork and photos, and yeah, paper is Amy's nemesis. I know Denai in the call as well has an area that all the papers are in one area, but that area has not gone through yet because it's so common for us to find that a challenging space. So what I'm going to
that's why
do,
it's my specialty.
well,
The
thank goodness.
the vast majority of people that come to me, it's paper.
Yes.
It's paper.
And
Yeah. You're
thankfully,
not
yes.
alone.
Carrie has a system, and that's often the first step to get out of that feeling of overwhelm, right? Is to find a system so that you can just go down the list.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's have a little fun. I cannot see you because you are all off camera. So, what that means is that if you are driving, I do not want you to close your eyes for sure. If you are multitasking and you feel that you could take, let's say, 10 minutes of a break, I would love to invite you to pause and find somewhere that you can sit down. And if you are already seated listening to this, you are absolutely perfect because I would love to guide you through a short exercise. And it's a bit of a visualization. Ideally, you would be able to pause any other distractions and close your eyes. Again, it will be short, but we want you to be safe and able to focus. So, if for any reason that is not the situation for you, we are recording this. You absolutely will have access to that. And I would invite you to simply do it at another point. Oh, goody. Denise is going to take a break from packing. I love that. Thank you, Denise. So with this exercise, again, I'm giving you a little bit of time to get sorted if you need to. But when you are landing in a seat, just allow yourself to take a big breath. Letting it out of your mouth, maybe with a sigh, maybe letting it be audible if you can. We so rarely give ourselves that chance to have that big exhale. We're trying to be quiet and just not make any notice, but let's let ourselves take up some space. And even allowing that extra breath in, letting out some extra breath. Just landing here in this space. And when it does feel good, giving yourself that opportunity to slow your breath to a natural rhythm of in and out, and allowing your eyes to close. And as you close your eyes, it's simply a way to block out some of the external stimuli and allowing your attention to turn inward. And with each breath, simply allowing your other senses to become activated. Maybe noticing any sounds around you in your space, noticing the seat that is holding you. Feeling how it's holding you really securely. And even with your eyes closed, you are perfectly safe. If it feels good, you can even let yourself slide back in the chair, maybe letting it hold you. Just noticing that with each breath, you can sink in a little bit deeper and be completely present in this moment. Hmm. And now I won't speak to your breath, but simply be aware of that very easy breath in and easy breath out. Noticing that you have the perfect breath, whether you are putting attention on it or not. Then letting yourself feel how within this space, in this room, you are perfectly safe. And I would like to invite you to actually imagine another version of you coming into the room. And this version looks exactly as you do today. And the only difference is that this version is here to act as your guide. This is a guide who has done this process before, knows the value of it, and knows that there is so much safety to be in this space. So, welcoming you into this space, just allowing yourself to settle into the seat and feel another version of you who is acting as your guide come to sit on your left. So, simply allowing you to be aware of the guide on your left. And the only purpose of this guide is to hold the space so that you feel confident within this process. And now, as you take another breath, I would invite you to imagine another second version of you coming into the room. And this version does look very similar to how you are dressed and looking today, but this version is actually from another time. And this version could be from later on today or maybe a few days. But this version is you, but simply the version that is a little further along in the process that you are currently wanting done. So we were speaking about organizing for a move, clearing out paper or photos. So allowing yourself to notice what is a project that matters to you, and notice that this version is absolutely in the midst of completing that project and noticing that it feels easier than she expected. Noticing that she is just a few little steps ahead and not feeling any overwhelm, and noticing that it's going more smoothly than she expected. And she's really enjoying the experience. And as she comes into the room, simply invite her to come and sit on your right-hand side. And as you take a breath, I would invite you to imagine another version of you coming into your space. And this version actually has completed the project already. She's just finished it and she is really so thrilled to be in this point of satisfaction, and it's knowing that it's done, crossing it off the to-do list. She is excited because she is about to enjoy the space that's now so organized. It feels brighter, it feels bigger. There's so much sense of joy connected with being at this point of being done. And as you imagine her coming into the room, she has such a beautiful smile on her face. Everything about her body looks lighter. And as she comes towards you, allow her to sit to the right of that second version. Notice how she smiles at everybody here. She knows what's going on. She appreciates to your left that guide holding the space. She notices you and remembers what it was like to kind of be at that stage where it felt a bit overwhelming and not know where to start. And she recognizes that other version that was kind of just at the beginning stages and feeling good about it. She's so excited for what waits for you all because she is there. And as she sits down with that big smile on her face, notice another final version coming into the room. Now, I've kind of messed up the numbering, but this is in fact your fourth version. And notice as she comes in, what does look different about her? Just notice if there is anything that seems to pop out. Her hair, her clothing, the expression on her face. What is it about her that is a little bit different? Because this version is actually from a few months out. She has long past completed that project and has been enjoying everything about having it done. Not only that, she has felt motivated to keep going. She loves to tell people about how good it feels. Any of that overwhelm that was there in the beginning, it kind of doesn't even feel real to her anymore because she's so far past it. She has created new habits that has sustained keeping the space organized. She's done more than she thought was possible in such a short time. And there is something a little bit different about her that feels lighter and brighter. There is something there as she walks towards you all that you can't quite put your finger on it, but she does absolutely seem more peaceful, more calm. Maybe it's a lightness in her shoulders or in her step. Maybe her clothes even just look that little bit nicer. Maybe it's a new outfit. Allowing her to come and sit with you all and taking a deep breath, noticing how you can all be here together. The version to your left who was so happy to act as a guide, to be a connector between all of you. And now, just for fun, giving yourself an opportunity to take another deep breath, I would invite you to lean over to your right. That number 3 version who is just a little bit ahead. She has started and it's going well, but she still is in the beginning stages. I'll invite you to lean into her and see the world through her eyes. Connect with the emotions that she's feeling about how she did get started and she's on the way and she has found the resources that are working for her. There's some tips and tools that she's found. And you know what? It's all going really well. And she's at a certain stage where it doesn't feel so daunting and she can envision it being done. And allow yourself to notice if you would like to invite this version to merge with you right now so that you have access to everything she's feeling. That lightness that she has, the satisfaction of the starting, the joy at how it's going better. And if it feels better not to merge with her, know that that's absolutely fine. But if she does, allow yourself to have that happen now. And now taking another breath, notice how that fourth version The one who has just finished and is so excited is now sitting right beside you. And I would invite you to lean over and see the world through her eyes. This is fresh for her, but she is so overjoyed. She is so happy to have it be complete. And it feels so good. The space feels exactly as she was thinking it would. It feels easy to keep it up. But most importantly, she is so happy and proud of herself for having done it. Allow yourself to connect with what it feels like in her world to be at this stage. It's done. It feels so good. And if it feels aligned, to invite her to join and merge within you so that you have access to all of these feelings right now, allow that to happen now. Always knowing that if it doesn't feel all right, that's perfectly okay. She was happy for you to have a glimpse. But notice if it does feel aligned, how this version can come and merge in with all of your cells. This is simply you, another version that is allowing herself to be at this place. And taking one more breath, looking over to your right and seeing that fifth and final version. That version of you who is a few months ahead again, where life is just feeling more focused, lighter, easier. That big overwhelming list that was so heavy just doesn't even feel real anymore. She is at a new place where things are feeling more in flow and everything is lighter. There's a place to put things. It feels easy and natural to put it back. Everything is bringing her such joy. There's so much pride in knowing that she can reach for whatever paper she wants. That mug in the cupboard is exactly the one that brings her joy. There's no more needing to think about how to do it because it's done. It's done. And it feels so good. Letting yourself see the world through her eyes, seeing what she chooses to do with her time, so much free time. So much space has opened up in her mind as well as in her life, with all of the aspects of that project simply complete. And notice, where does she want to focus now? Giving yourself the opportunity to again invite if she would like to merge with you, if you would like to merge with her, knowing any decision is perfectly fine. But you do have access whenever you wish to this place of being at the end of the doing and being in the having, and allowing yourself to notice how that feels. And now, with some final few breaths, turning to your left and thanking that second version who was acting as your guide, holding the space to allow this process to be of the benefit for you. Allowing her to leave this room, finding yourself back in your chair, feeling it support you. Coming back into this version of you present day, knowing that all is well, inviting in any movement that feels good, perhaps stretching fingers, shoulders, legs. Coming on back right here. And when it feels good, opening your eyes and letting yourself be present with exactly how you're feeling now. And I am very curious to find out what your experience was. If you would like to share in the chat or unmuting, I think it would be fun to know what became available for you.
Did you notice a difference with your final version? The one that's far in the future? Oh, possibility, she wrote. Yeah. I noticed mine was even like standing taller, walking taller.
Absolutely. Yeah.
My final future version had new clothes, new glasses, a new haircut. Just completely different. Just completely different.
That's super fun, Amy. Thank you for sharing that. And that's what's
But,
available for you if you want it to be. Isn't that fun to notice?
yeah, she says, yay. One of the things, and I hope some more people share, one of the things that I guide my clients through is when you picture that future version, however far out that is to think about, as I mentioned, how that person feels and how they feel in each specific environment. So maybe if you're doing an office, do you want to feel calm? Do you want to feel inspired? How do you want to feel in the space? And then if you focus on that, that guides your steps. It guides your choices of how you set up the space. And not only how are you going to feel when you get there, but how you're going to feel on the way. So part of what my clients do is choose an overarching energy and feeling, like I want to feel motivated. I want to feel energized. I want to feel peaceful about this, at peace, whatever it is. And then we choose one for the week. And again, it's a guiding light. So much of this is tied into how you want to feel when you get there, but also along the way.
Oh, yeah, that feels so good. And that helps us to understand what is it that we're working towards. Because sometimes, especially when we're thinking about physical clutter, all we're thinking about is, well, I need to move this from here to here, and then that will feel better. But if you're not connected with how you actually want to feel when that thing is moved, something else is just going to show up in the space. And
Exactly.
it's hard to sustain because we're not actually focused on what we really want, which is, for me, I love it when my work desk is cleared off because I really feel focused and it feels lighter to me. And I just that space around me, I can feel the space within my thoughts. And yet I lose sight of that sometimes, and the clutter just kind of accumulates. And then I'm thinking, oh, it's so hard to focus today. And then I connect the dots. It's like, oh, I know what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I am not staying connected with that feeling of space and focus. And I've surrounded myself with the physical things, and I'm feeling very hemmed in now. And so it makes a difference.
Exactly. And also just I'm going to go shut these blinds in just a minute. I feel like, but also the purpose, like knowing your why. So
Yeah.
many people that have approached me about working together, a lot of it is from shame or guilt or, oh, I should do this or I should be able to do this. And that's not a motivator.
Yeah.
That's if you the people that do well are the people that can picture what their life will be like, what that will feel like. The people like you, Denise, that are moving, those people are very motivated because, hopefully the move is a positive one. And so you can picture. And so you find this almost superhuman energy because you're like, I'm doing it and this move is coming. And so asking yourself, really, why? Why do I want to do this? And then keeping in mind that it's going to ebb and flow throughout your life, your level of organization, your level of desire for organization is going to be very different when you have little children versus when you're an empty nester. And so it's not a one and done type of thing. It's going to ebb and flow, and you might have to revisit that vision.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, which we touched on at the beginning, right? We have different roles, and we do need to remember, is everything that I'm surrounded by a good reflection and of my role right now? Is this actually needed? I used to do a lot of cooking, and so I had all the appliances and the things, but as I was leaning more and starting to live nomadically, I really did not need to have those. And I certainly didn't need to have them sitting in someone's storage room. And so I finally said, someone could use all of these. If I end up with a big kitchen again, I will find a way to just go get myself the appliances I need. And that really did feel better. Although it was a process. In the beginning it was, but what if I need them right away and I won't have it? And I remember when I got that one, I remember how much I paid for that. And we have to work through all of that to get to the point of, I don't need it now. And having it sit in a storage room does no one any good. And years have gone by and I have not needed those things yet. And so I am happy to say, it was a process and I did it in increments, but it feels so much better to have released those things.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? I feel like there must be some burning questions out there for either one of us. Yes, Denise.
Go ahead, Denise.
I was going to say, okay, so I love that we're starting at how do I want to feel? So what would be step 2? If I want my house to feel like everything has a place and everything's in its place, and it feels calm because everything is just orderly. Like I really want to set up my house once and for all. I know it's not one and done. I got to keep maintaining it, but I guess where do you start? Like being more mindful of actually where you're placing things in which cabinets or.
Yes, and there's even a step right before that. So I'll
Okay.
go ahead and answer that. So when I lead people through my framework, we start with that feel, which is everything we've been talking about. The second step is fact find. You're still not going to start and go out and buy a bunch of bins yet. You're still, and this could be brief and you could write this out or it could be in your mind. But when I say fact find, what I mean is ask yourself, I ask my clients, but you can ask yourself a series of questions. What have I tried before? What do I like? Does this impact other people? Is there anyone else I need to consider in this? What are my resources? How much time do I have to complete this? Do I have money? Do I have a friend that can help? All of those things. What are my obstacles? Again, maybe it's probably time for some people. I only have this much time. Or when I work with people, part of my fact finding, believe it or not, is also figuring out their learning style. Are you a visual person? Are you an auditory person? Because it matters. It matters more when you're doing an office, but it can matter in how you set up your space. And so that's part of my fact find. So there's that. There's just asking yourself those questions like what's worked? What are my natural tendencies? If your natural tendencies are to throw things in baskets, you probably don't want to put in a system with lots of things with locking lids because you're going to hate it. So that fact find is important. You're not skipping over that. And then is formulate, the third step. So that's what you're talking about. What's the plan? What's the steps? What's it going to look like? What's my budget? So that's the big one. And that's where we spend time because that takes time, right? Like how much am I going to devote? What are my decluttering days? What are my putting in my new system days? And then the fourth step is follow through. And this is where a lot of people fall down because they do something, they declutter something, or they put in a new system, and then there's no follow through. So from day one, I start asking my clients, well, first of all, follow through is really two parts: maintenance and accountability. So from day one, I start asking my clients, okay, great. This is your vision. This is your project. What is the maintenance going to look like? Are you going to revisit this once a month, twice a year? What is that going to look like? And then what is the accountability going to be? Some people host a big party once a year, and that's their accountability because everything they want everything in good shape again. People have an accountability buddy. Some people I serve as their accountability. So those are the 4 steps. So the feel, fact find, formulate, which is the bulk of the work, and then follow through.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you for asking that.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Great question,
Yeah.
Denise. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, that was not part of what we were going to say, but that was good.
Perfect. Anybody else? Questions, comments? All right. Well, I guess we did a great job. So
I
that's
guess
not a
so.
bad
Everybody
thing.
feels complete. Hopefully that version of themselves is very motivating and they're ready to go.
Exactly. All right, well, I'm going to pop a couple of links in the chat just so that we have some contact information. I was going to bold this. Can I bold in a chat? Oh, I can. So I do private coaching as well as group coaching. And so if you're not familiar with me, I've just popped in my website. And I'm actually having an open house for my group membership on March 30th. It's at noon Eastern for 90 minutes. If you have any interest in checking out what we're doing, I just put my email address in there and I can send you the link. You don't have to sign up for a trial or anything, although that's available. And you can see on my website. Denise is a wonderful member, Anna, Amy, and Denai, actually, everybody on the call. So thank you, everybody, for coming to this. I really appreciate your support. And it is a wonderful time. We get together every Monday for 90 minutes and we have a great conversation. It is a supportive place, but it's also where you can bring anything that is going on for you. Obviously, if there is some coaching there, it does tend to end up being a conversation as opposed to coaching processes. But, if people want that, but then we do that as well. So I would absolutely invite you to attend if that interests you. And I do have a resource that I wanted to offer. It's called 10 Micro Habits.
Yep.
Go ahead. There we go.
Yeah.
And I think that's there. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, if you'd like to have it, it's a PDF download, and I believe it will subscribe you to my newsletter. I send out something every Wednesday. And if that interests you, then wonderful. I would welcome you. And if at any time it doesn't, then you just hit unsubscribe. Now, I did become a grandmother recently, and I have a whole section of my newsletter now every Wednesday that has pictures of my grandson. I think it's worth subscribing just for that. But, that's okay if you don't want to see the most adorable baby in the world. But
yes, I love the pictures.
I love it so much. I have to just keep doing it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
And then I shared mine as well. I put my website there, and then my freebie was up top. I'll put it again. And so on my website, I'll just tell you the different sections. There's a section for office organizing. There's a section that's called Clutter Coaching, and that is really about my Frustration to Freedom group program that Julie is actually in right now. And then on my website and on that other Clutter to Clarity link, you can download 10 tips for getting unstuck. And I also have a very illuminating 15-question quiz that will give you a productivity score. So both of those things will also get you on my email list. I send out a Monday motivation email each week with some ideas. And the last thing, I guess, that's on my website, where you can search if you're not from my world, if you're one of Sheila's people, I did a TED Talk in 2017 called From Clutter to Clarity. And it's about how our clutter is not just stuff. It's mental and emotional and what to do about it. And I'm really proud of that. It has 1.1 million views, so I think a lot of people like it. So you might want to go check that out.
Absolutely. There's so much value when you understand the different layers. And I, who's on the call, and we actually did I think it was a 3-part workshop, all about the different levels of clutter. And again, when you understand it's not just that physical thing and, oh, once I clean it, it'll be done forever. If you don't address the other layers, no, it won't. It is not going to be sustainable. And that is why it's so important. So I'm excited, Kerry. I don't think I've ever watched that. So I will have to go look for that.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. Anything
All right,
before
well,
we wrap up? Anyone? Anything at all?
Thank you very much, both of you.
you're welcome.
It's nice to meet you, Kerry, and I'm
Yes.
definitely going to check out your website. And Sheila, I've known for quite a while now, and I just want to do a little shout out. Your private coaching is amazing. Like Denai said, you can get so much done in even a half an hour with Sheila. So it doesn't matter what the topic is. She's magic and she can help you. So thank you, Sheila, and yeah, happy to be here today. Thank
Thank
you
you,
both.
Thank
Denise.
you. Yeah. As I said, that's how we met. I started out doing a session with Sheila. We've stayed connected, so I can endorse her as well.
Well, thank you.
And I met Kerry through the TED Talk. I met
Yes.
Kerry through the TED Talk and have just somehow you keep coming up in my life. I took a course with Barbara Hemphill during the COVID quarantine thing, and you just keep coming up.
Yep. And
Always,
we've been on the same wavelength this week. We've been
very much
emailing
so.
back and forth. It's
Yeah.
been fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Sheila, also.
Thank you for being here.
All right, we will let you guys get back to your evenings, and there will be a replay. So if you are in my Less Clutter, More Peace Facebook group, or if you are on either of our email lists, you will get the replay. And I think it would be good to save that, because I know I would love to go back through that exercise again. So you will get that.
So,
All right.
all right. Well, thank you, Kerry, for being willing to play with me. I'm so glad that we could create this together. And thank you, everyone, for accepting our invitation. It was just lovely to have you here.
Thank you both so much. This has been amazing.
You're welcome.